I was 10 years old, I think. My dad got a semi-truck to haul hay. I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Growing up on a farm, Mark Drube started driving tractors and trucks as soon as he could reach the pedals.
I think if Norman Rockwell was going to paint a picture of a childhood, he would have painted mine.
One day, Mark went with his dad on a trip in their semi about 75 miles away.
I was probably 8th grade.
On the way back, Mark's dad said he was tired and invited Mark to drive.
And he very well may have been asleep, and that was the first time on the highway that I remember driving that truck, and that just fueled my fire. I love trucks. The first semi I owned, I was partners with my brother. We bought this truck together. It was in 1984. It ran, but it didn't have a transmission in it. My brother and I ran that truck together, just taking turns with everything through the summer of '84.
A year later, Mark's brother used that truck for a different business, and Mark bought another old truck. That was the beginning of Double D Distribution.
Spent a summer out in the desert, out in Ibapaw, paving the road to Ibapaw.
Mark started hauling asphalt in 1987, and in 1992 was finally able to start adding a few trucks.
But it was pretty tough times. I remember one Christmas, probably our second Christmas together, and we didn't have any money. And we really tried hard not to let on that we didn't have any money. And we had no Christmas, nothing under the tree.
We had said, no, just, I can't buy for you, please don't buy for me.
Somehow that Christmas morning, my wife got me a filing cabinet. I think she had some help from her mother, but it was something we needed for the business.
It's funny how, like a filing cabinet of all things, but it stuck with him. He's remembered that.
Mark says Lisa didn't love trucks, but she loved him.
Didn't love him like I did, but she was all in to support me. In those early years, I think that made the difference between success and failure.
It is amazing to create something like this because it would serve a greater purpose than himself and his family, but currently 40 other people and their families.
And family is a major theme at Double D.
I think family is big to Mark. Family is important to him. He grew up in a big family, and you can see the love that he has for his own family and for his work family too. He very much loves all of us.
He's got 2 families that he cares about, and he runs that side of that family over there, and I run our little family at home.
But the two aren't always separate.
I remember when I first started working for my dad that after my first few days in the office, I came home and was like, I never knew how hard he worked until working there, and that was when I was 18 or 19.
She came home and she put her bags down, put her purse down, and she said, wow, Mom, Dad works so hard. And I said, well, yeah. And she goes, no, he works so hard.
When I was 16 or 15, I don't remember what it was, summer had started, and I woke up and Dad said, get dressed, we're going to work. And that was, I guess, my interview to start washing trucks and then start fixing them before I started driving.
Driving at Double D is a big deal.
Almost all of our guys in management were drivers for this company.
We were drivers first, and we like to still think all we are is just drivers that have other things you've got to do.
Our success absolutely depends on our drivers. Absolutely. We can have the greatest management the world's ever known, but without drivers, it does absolutely no good.
He was concerned about the drivers having a nice bathroom. He wanted his employees to be so comfortable.
We really wanted a place here that drivers could just feel comfortable, have nice shower. And so we built these nice shower rooms. There's no stalls, and they can come here and be comfortable. And they can do that 24 hours a day.
From top to bottom, Mark designed Double D's new building with employees' best interests in mind.
There's something about having a meal with somebody, regardless of what kind of meal it is. If we can just whip up a little bit of food when someone's here and have a meal with the driver, there's a connection made. And we need those connections, and our drivers need those connections.
Our employees are the important part of this company, and so we try to just make sure they have all the tools they need to do the job and to be able to go home every night.
Trucking's awesome, and I love trucking, but some days are not good, and you have to hold on to the good days. I got a call early in the morning from my dispatcher, and I answered the phone, and he simply said, "We've had a bad one."
One of their trucks had rolled over, and the driver, one of the Double D family, died in the crash.
I was in the process of notifying his wife.
But as Mark was driving there,
My driver's wife called me, and she was very worried because she could not get a hold of her husband, and that was unusual. I told her that there had been a bad accident, and her next words were, "Is he dead?" I remember that so clearly, it shocked me, and I didn't want to answer, but I had to let her know. And I regretted having to do it over the phone, but it was the time that she needed to know right then. Later that day, my son Skylar and I went to the scene, and Skylar found the driver's phone. He was able to see numerous missed calls from home as they were trying to reach him. That was pretty impactful on me, and I think on Skylar as well. All of us want to be able to answer that call from home when somebody calls.
it was one of Double D's worst days. But as Mark's own father did so many times with him, it was a day to teach his son.
I took Skylar with me deliberately because I wanted him to realize and experience firsthand that not every day is a good day in trucking. And there will be some bad days. If he decided to stay in the business and to follow me into the business and to be part of the trucking company.
I did go to school and explore some other things, but what I found when I was at school, I wanted to go be an engineer. I wanted to build bridges. But I was more excited for school to end and for the weekend work to go drive again. And so, my third year of school, I thought, well, I should probably do what I am looking forward to doing.
Like father, like son.
I love the switches, I love the shifter, I love the seats. I just love the feel of the truck.
It's fun. It's fun to haul asphalt. It's fun to drive when you can.
Trucking is the backbone, I believe, of America, in that it does support and supply anything that's going on in America. You know, whether it's disasters or whether it's just food to the grocery stores or to anywhere we go, everything's brought in by trucks. And that's one of the great things I love about it. And I love about trucking is that you're supplying America with the things it needs.
We just, walk through that building, and it's just kind of unreal that is ours now. It just feels good, After such a long time, we've made it to where we can talk about it being a legacy.
A lifetime away from the little boy on the farm. Decades since one old truck and a filing cabinet. But always holding tight to those values of hard work, faith, and family.
That's who he is. Because he's a dad. He's a dad and he's a grandpa. And he cares so much about us and about his family, and yeah, his employees are his family too. He cares so much about them. He prays for them. I don't know how many employers pray for their employees, how many trucking employers pray for their drivers. He does.
Really, it's what he's done. I mean, everything that we have in the company, every detail.
I am extremely proud of what Double D has become, but it all goes away in time and means nothing compared to my children and my grandchildren. That's the payoff.